Is power.
Information is power, ladies and gentlemen. 110%. Information is power.
Information is power.
Information is power. Information is power. Information man. Information is power.
You are listening to Information Man Podcast.
Information man. Information power. The podcast. Yes, everybody. Yes. Welcome. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'm about to get into this situation. We all have heard about this. The BET Music Awards was on the other night, and man, I don't know what to say, folks. Where are we going as a culture? Why are we continuing to slide down with the buffoonery and repeating the very buffoonery that at some point in time we were being exploited by our enemies, and we continue the buffoonery? I don't know why. It's thunders. All right, folks, I'm here. What's up, everybody? We got Earl Owens in the house. A lot of great people in the house. Let me say it again. I want to say thank you to everybody that is here live with me. Like I said before, folks, I'm going to be putting out these podcasts almost every other night. I've got a good one tomorrow that I'm going to do, but tonight we're going to talk about the BET Awards. I really want to get the feedback from the audience out there listening in the chat room. So if you are in the chat room, I'm definitely going to pull up your comments, your thoughts, and we're going to examine your opinions, your thoughts about the BET Music Awards. I want to analyze this whole situation because you say, well, what's the big deal? It's entertainment, it's entertainers. That image goes all around the world. And he or she, I remember when I was in college, I had a professor that said that he or she who controls the image and controls the message controls the mind. And that message goes all around the world. And this is why when you go out into the world, you get treated the way you do. Even our women who say, hey, don't treat me like I'm a whore or a B word or a bag and a garbage. Now, when I grew up, I'm 51 years old. I've been down with rap music, things of that nature since the late 70s, early 80s. I used to graffiti art, and I used to break dance, pop lock, the whole 9 yard in my time doing so. And I remember when, what was that, Two Live Crew, all these different rap groups would come out and they would have very negative things to say about women. And they would actually exploit the sexuality of women in their music. And I know that that's the way the music business is, that sex sells. It's always so. Prostitution's been around for God knows how long. Oldest profession in the business, as they say. And I remember that a lot of black women at that time would say, why are black men portraying us like this in their videos, in their music. I'm not a B word. I'm not any of these things. Why? So there was a time in our culture where women weren't having it. I remember C. Dolores Tucker. Remember back in the day, C. Dolores Tucker, along with my man Joe Madison, they went on a campaign against Two Live Crew to try to stop the music in terms of saying this music is disruptive to our people. And so here we are in the year 2021, and it seems that our women are willing to do whatever it takes for the dollar, for the buck, without having men telling them to do it, because twerking is all the rage in this era. Now, I know people like to have fun. There's nothing wrong with having fun and having a great time. But it seems that we're living in a time where there's no standards. Our culture is at an all-time low-hanging fruit in some cases. We have women that you can see on Instagram, social media. They know in this culture, our women no longer need us to justify them. They no longer need us to put the spotlight on them and treat them like they're a piece of meat. There were songs back in the day where you had people, you had even Queen Latifah saying, "Don't you call me a B word," right? And then, of course, some years later, she was in a video. Remember that video that said, OPP, are you down with OPP? Other people's, you know what? Well, Queen Latifah was in that video. So the mixed messages that we've been getting sent over the years, and of course, they honored her at the BET Awards. And then they turned around and made Megan Thee Stallion, and I've been talking about this on other videos. They made Megan Thee Stallion the lady of the year, the woman of the year, what have you, the music, the video of the year. And I'm thinking to myself as I scratch my head and I say, but I thought that our women didn't want this type of stuff anymore. I thought that black female female empowerment was what you use upstairs in your brain. It was the empowerment of economics, the empowerment of going to school, getting education, getting a career, being the independent woman that you've always said you wanted to be. But yet today, we have young women who believe, and this is dangerous because I have a daughter, and when you have women in the media eye, and you must say, well, these are celebrities. Why are you worrying about? Well, celebrities have a lot of influence over the culture, and they have a lot of influence over our community. And we have young men and young ladies who follow their lead. So young men will think that this is how you treat a female, that females are sexual creatures who can't control their sexuality, that our women are hypersexual. Our men are to be hypersexual. You see.
Tell the truth.
So we have our women that are volunteering within the entertainment industry to shake it up, shake it down, all around, do whatever they want. And they don't need men. They no longer need men. They can't blame it on men in this era right now, because women are taking it upon themselves to whether make money off their sexuality, to flaunt their sexuality on IG pages, the whole 9 yards. So you can't always say, "Oh, it's the man's fault. The man put me in this." No, women are volunteering to make themselves seem as a sexual object. And the BET Awards just reinforced that when they had the ladies come up there and do their twerk out, or whatever you call it. You see the picture. You see the picture right here. You see that picture right there. I haven't forgotten Lil Nas X, because once again, we've got men who are deciding to live their best life, live their sexuality, but it's being flaunted to our children. Lil Nas X, when he came out, let me put this up here. When Lil Nas X came out, Lil Nas X was promoted as sort of a family-friendly man, right? The music, the little country song that he came out with that got popularized, and he was going to schools, singing to kids. and kids were getting very excited to see him. Well, then 1 minute he's in a cowboy suit singing Old Time Road, whatever the hell it's called. And the next minute now he comes out in a demonic video where he's giving Satan himself a lap dance. And I did a video about that on the Information Man Show. Make sure you check out my first channel, the Information Man Show. So he's giving lap dances with the devil, going down a stripper pole, which is further promoting the whole culture, or what we would call stripper culture, nightclub stripper culture, which is where Meg Thee Stallion is what she's been pushing as well. So I thought the days of Little Kim, because this stuff has already been done before. We've been there, done that. I thought the days of Little Kim and all that nonsense was over. I thought we were moving into a more higher learning, a more a level that we don't need our women to have to be over sexualized as well as our men. But now, even when it comes to gay men, black gay men, it seems like even within not only heterosexual males, we have to be over a sexual active or over hypersexual to be able to prove that we're men. But when it comes to gay black men, and this may sound cruel what I'm saying, but it's what I've observed, is that even gay black men have to be hypersexual within their sexuality when coming out and proving to the world that they are who they are. Nas X has been doing all this stuff because he wants to prove to the world that he's coming on out and that this is who I am. Love me for who I am. So it's nothing wrong with being who you are, being on your purpose, and living your best life. But we don't need it being flaunted in our face. I don't even want to see heterosexual. So for those of you who say, well, you're just talking about people that are gay, I don't even want to see heterosexual people all smooched out, rumping it up and down all in my face, or for our kids to see. I don't even want to see that. That to me is not appropriate. We've got black women who are stereotyping themselves and don't even realize the history in this country of how they have over-sexualized black women from the slave plantation, from the Jim Crow age. How, for those of you in the chat room who are familiar with this, give me the name if you know the name, because the name kind of escapes me right now. Remember, you had back in the 1800s or the I think in the 1800s, they had a body of an African woman. They abominated her body. They put her booty or her butt, her thighs inside of an encasement in museums in Great Britain. The breasts, the buttocks, all these things, because they see us as animals. They see our women as animals. They see us as exhibits.
You are listening to Information Man Podcast.
And now, because we've lost the knowledge of self, we don't know who we are, what we are. We're out of balance. We're out of a balance with nature. We're out of balance with our true nature. We're out of connection with even God, that our women are engaging in practices, in behavior that once upon a time ago, white society enjoyed and got their kicks off. And they still do to a certain degree. Even Cardi B, who you see on this picture, remember when Cardi B was at home, she played this song. Her daughter came into the room while she was playing the WAP song, which is a song meaning your coochie, the coochie below. And she turned it off because she doesn't want her child to hear it, meaning she realizes that her song is not wholesome. It's not positive. It has demonic energy. And she turned it off for her child not to listen to. But she's not concerned about your kids. Even though you are the adult, you have to monitor your kids. But they got access to computers, cell phones, the whole 9 yards. She's not worried about your kids because this is all about entertainment. This is not about the empowerment of black women. All that twerking that you saw on BET with those city girls or girl cities or whatever the hell they call themselves, that's not empowerment of black women. This is nothing new. They have betrayed black women as sexual creatures in the 70s, 60s through exploitation films. This is nothing new. Lizzie, who walks around with her butt all out, they've always liked the sexuality of black women because they saw it as animalistic. Henceforth, the body parts of a black woman that was put in a museum. We've got people like Lizzie who goes to the LA Lakers game, butt all out. Now, some people would say, oh, you're talking about respectability politics, that if we somehow carry ourselves decently, that somehow they're going to treat us squarely. This is not about respectability politics. This is about us having standards as a community. In other cultures, women who behave and engage like this would be thrown out of the culture. These are women who don't get married because no man who has real standards, and you ain't got to be high value to have standards, would not take such women, would not marry up such women. We think it's all cute and fun and games because it's BET Awards. It's called Black Entertainment Network, but yet there's nothing black about BET because BET, Sarah Lee was the CEO, but actually BET is owned by a white establishment. Viacom is owned by white people. It's not owned by black people. So they don't give a damn or care about us making buffoons of ourselves for the highest price. They've got no concerns about us making a buffoon of ourselves for the highest price, ladies and gentlemen. And that's just the truth. Some people aren't going to like what I got to say. Some people don't agree with what I'm saying, but it is the truth. I don't care.
You are listening to Information Man Podcast.
Tell the truth.
These are the truth. Thank you for the super chat. I know someone super chatted me. I'm going to get into the audience that's watching and get some of your thoughts, but let me put a picture up now. Getting over to Nas X. We can't be hypocritical. A lot of people got upset over seeing Nas X in his Egyptian attire, so-called Egyptian attire, where he's up there with these muscular black men, right? And of course, people got upset because he kissed one of these guys. And rightfully so, we should be a little uncomfortable about that because we don't need our kids seeing that. We don't need this being exposed out there. People should keep who they are, what they're about. Keep it to yourself. Same thing. I don't want to see heterosexual people in a thing like this, all smooched up, all tongue in mouth and all. I don't want to see that either, whether it be heterosexual or homosexual. I don't want to see it. I'm going to play a video from my man, George Makem, because he talked about this on his channel and he breaks it down really good. You're going to see an incredible video. I mean, incredible.
Tell the truth.
Now, I'm a heterosexual male. So therefore, for me, I don't want to see a black man portraying himself in an effeminate manner or kissing other men, because we know historically they have destroyed the image of black men. Henceforth, buck breaking, right? They would take the biggest and strongest black man on the plantation, the most muscular, the most alpha within the group. Talk about high value.
You are listening to Information Man Podcast.
And when they would take that man, the slave master or the overseer would make him drop his britches. They would bend him over and they would sodomize him for everyone in the plantation to see, particularly for other black men on that plantation and black women. That, I work in mental health, that had a tremendous psychological damage. That's trauma. And black people, yes, have been traumatized.
Tell the truth.
In this society. And out of that trauma of buck breaking black men, because the goal was to feminize black men, put them in dresses, normalize it and say, this is normal, it's okay. And I know that race is a social construct and people's sexual preferences can be considered. You can also make an argument that it could be a social construct, meaning when you grow up, right, they say blue is for boys and pink is for girls. We use colors to identify sexes. We decide put a football in a boy's hand because he's supposed to be a masculine man growing up. So we already culturally condition our kids as to what we want a boy to be and what we think a girl is. What are the gender roles? I get it. but black men over the years, whether it have been over sexualized as well. Now, back in the day, the 60s, we had black men that were revolutionaries. Why did we get away from wanting to be revolutionaries to wanting just to be, Superfly? I want to, we went from being revolutionaries to like, I want to be a pimp now. That's what the Superfly movies were all about. Superfly, grow your hair long like you're a girl, and then pimp women for money and live off of women, which is not a masculine trait at all. We got people on YouTube who smut out women and brag about it, and men support them because they smut out females, or they think that they're a man because they can sleep with many women or have slept with many women. And they and then they turn around and create YouTube channels and tell you and me, I can teach you how to get women and be a man. It's laughable. We went from being revolutionaries to now we want to be, thugs and pimps, right? That's what they betrayed us in exploitation films. Then at one point in time in rap music, which you don't see on BET anymore, we had a whole thing about go to the East, my brother, where everybody was wearing African medallions. Everybody was saying we want apartheid to end in South Africa. We had brothers speaking about metaphorical things and empowering. We had X-Clan, Public Enemy. We had music that was getting into the ears of our kids because that music was empowering you to be a man, to be upright. It was music that was telling black males, I want to go to college. It was originally rappers who would do their videos on college campuses, which would make you say, I want to go to Howard, I want to go to Morehouse, I want to go to Spelman. That's the truth. So we came out of that era into an era which we were getting enlightenment. And then they took us right on back, and we contribute to it by our behavior with the gangster music. And then let's make our women look like whores. Now we take it back to the day, the 21st century, 2021, and we no longer have to really pimp our women. We don't really have to put them out there and sexualize them because they're willing to do it for themselves and call it black woman empowerment. I thought black woman empowerment is realizing that there was a black woman that went into space, that was an astronaut, black women that are in science. Matter of fact, there's a black woman right now who's actually discovered some cures to cancer that nobody talks about. I think that's a black woman empowerment, but no, we're caught up in these celebrities. And the reason why I bring up these celebrities again, because once again, these celebrities have the biggest influence in our culture. We've got our women twerking, shaking their butt. Now, there's nothing wrong with sexuality. There's nothing wrong with having a good time when there's a time and place for that. But what's happening is that you grow up and you see that you're culturally conditioned, and you begin to say that this is the norm. We're making norms. And what's happening is that we got the minimum in our community of people who they push forth, like on BET, excuse me. And they take the minimum and make it the maximum of representing what our culture is all about. And that's dangerous. Certainly, there are not all black women who are betraying themselves like this, but there are certainly a minimum enough that are in the media eye that get pushed forth, and now people believe that this is who we are as a people. Nas X was supposed to be doing a tribute to Michael Jackson. I don't ever remember, as much as people question Michael Jackson's sexuality or what he did in his bedroom, I don't remember ever seeing Michael Jackson do a video. This was Remember the Times. I never remember seeing Michael Jackson doing video where he was kissing other men and also doing things that were over the top sexual. So Nas X is supposed to be doing a tribute, but yet I think he did a bad job as doing a tribute for Michael Jackson because Nas X has his own agenda. His agenda is that he wants to keep pushing and reminding you that he's gay. By now, I think we all know that he's gay, but the question is, why does it always have to be continued to be pushed in our face? He's been accepted. Why don't you just be who you are? But no, you have to push it through the envelope, even with kissing and doing something sexual with the devil. And that's the crazy part about it.
Tell the truth.
The BET Awards is, to me, an embarrassment. I'm about to put something up before I go to the audience that's listening to me, and I appreciate you coming over and supporting me. But what I want to do right now is I want to put something up here. Yes, you see what you see right there. Don't laugh, because this is facts. This is what I want you to see. I'm giving BET Entertainment Network, whatever the hell we call it, because it ain't owned by black folks. I'm giving them the Negro Please Award for adding to the embarrassment of black people worldwide.
Tell the truth.
To the embarrassment of black people worldwide. That's what they get. It's an embarrassment. I don't have cable TV anymore, and I don't watch BET. I stopped watching BET a long time ago. And matter of fact, when it was owned by Bob Johnson, when he owned it, I had a lot of problems with BET because all the videos were negative videos. All the videos were showing us killing each other. The gangster music, the over-sexuality of things that was happening even then. And then they had something called Teen Summit. If any of you guys remember Teen Summit. And Teen Summit was a great show, but then it didn't. Then again, they got rid of it. Then they used to have news for about 20 or 30 minutes. They end up getting rid of that. And Bob Johnson would just play videos all day, and they were negative videos as he made $1 billion and then sold it to white folks so that they could continue the tradition.
Tell the truth.
And then we feed into the tradition because we support it, we watch it, we buy the music, we clap and smack our hands to it. Even though Cardi B doesn't let her kids listen to it, she turns it off. So it tells you right there, her priorities is her child. Why can't we make our priorities our family, our kids?
Tell the truth.
BET is a disaster. The BET Awards is a complete disaster. I want to know how many of you watch BET, watch this disaster. I want to get your opinions as I am on for an hour. Let me go over here into my chat room for the first time. I want to get people's people's thoughts. First thought I want to say to everybody is, how many of you actually watch BET still in these award shows? And I want you to be honest, don't play games with me. If you don't watch it anymore, I don't have cable TV. So what I gathered about what's going on is I saw clips on the internet. So I did my homework, right? We know that the baby, I don't know why all these rappers, all these people, why do grown men give themselves names like Little Baby, The Baby, I'm a Baby? That's goofy to me. Why are you giving yourself names like you're a little boy? Be a man. The Baby or Little Baby or whatever baby. They came out with who's the gospel singer who got into it with somebody put Kirk Franklin. That's right. He comes out with, I believe, Kirk Franklin, who had all kind of issues with his son. And next thing you know, the baby wants to sing gospel music. Wait a minute, the baby, most of your music, and my man George Macon was talking about this, and you're going to see his video in a moment. Wait a minute, the baby, you've been talking about bang, bang, shoot 'em up, keep my pants low like I got a bow movement.
Information is power.
So now you get on BET and you're sending different messages. Now you want to talk about I give my life to the Lord. Well, which is it? Are you about the Lord and that which is righteous? Or are you just about making your money and you're willing to sell your own people out for that dollar by making us look completely like buffoons? Buffoonery and sugary buffoonery. I'm going to say that. If you know your history, what you've been witnessing on the BET Music Awards all these years and what you witnessed this past week, this past weekend, is nothing but a 21st century minstrel show. I said it, minstrel show. Back in the day, they used to have minstrel shows where they would have white people put on blackface and betray what they thought was being black. That's how you got Amos and Andy. Learn your damn history.
Tell the truth.
Come to school. Amos and Andy was originally a radio show with two white guys. Then they decided to cross it on over into television and put black folks in it to continue the buffoonery. And Amos and Andy, for its buffoonery, was the only TV show with black people that actually opened up the door for other black people to get into the entertainment game by being buffoons. Step it, fetch it. Remember Step it, fetch it? So that was the only kind of work that they would give black people, even though back in the 1900s, we had a film studio. It's a damn shame that in 1919, I think it was called Lincoln Films. Black people actually, that was a black man who actually owned a film studio, a film company. It wasn't Tyler Perry. It was Lincoln Films came first. How do we go from having our own film company called Lincoln Films? I don't know why he named it Lincoln. Probably because they believed even then that Lincoln freed all the black people. That was another lie.
Tell the truth.
How do we go from having our own film studio to having nothing today until Tyler Perry is able to open up his own studio after all these years? Where are we going in our direction? Many of you may not even realize that Jim Brown and Richard Pryor were working to build their own film studio, and it got all derailed because of course, unfortunately, I must say, unfortunately, Richard Pryor had drug problems. He did. Unfortunately. So here we are in the 21st century, and we're still volunteering to put on a minstrel show. So let's go right ahead and see what people are saying in the chat room. We've got Golden Melon that says, those women sure don't represent me. Now, let me just say this. I'm not saying that there's not a time and place to have a good time, dance, shake your booty. Look, black folks, there's something that we don't have a shortage of in the black community. We know how to dance. We know how to sing. Sometimes I get sick of every time I turn on my television, seeing a black person singing and dancing. I already know we can do that. That ain't our problems. We got other things we need to be doing. So seeing a black person nowadays that can sing and dance, to me, comes a dime a dozen, because we know we can excel in that area. We need to excel in other areas. So I don't really need to see black women shaking and twerking themselves 24/7. Although we know that there's a time when you go to a party, you go to a club, you have a good time. I understand that. Let me see what other people are talking about. And I want those honest replies in the chat room. How many of you continue to watch BET? How many of you have the completely stopped supporting BET, or at least supporting these type of programs? Be honest. Put a 1 if you put a 1 if you still a 1 if you don't support it, and a 2 if you do still support it. I'm not hating on you. I'm simply saying be aware of what you're watching. We got Rob Allbanks, who says the last time I saw BET is when Lil Wayne had his pants off his ass in that award show. I forgot the year, but I think it was when he got out of prison. Needless to say, that means something in prison. Yeah, true. In prison, originally, having your pants below your behind was a sign that you were available for sex. Because when you go to prison, they don't give you a belt. They don't give you a belt because they are concerned, and I know this very well because of the kind of work I do. They're concerned about your safety. They don't want you to hang yourself and do something suicidal. So they take your belt away and they end up giving you these baggy pants to wear, these blues as they call it. And then you get used to. So because you have black men, Hispanic men, whoever in prison, once you are in prison for a number of years, you begin to become culturally conditioned. Matter of fact, you become buck broken. That's right. That's the proper word for it. You became buck broken because now they've got you being used to wearing your pants below your ass. When you came into prison, you weren't wearing your pants below your ass. When I was a kid growing up, you would get laughed at if you went to school with your pants below. But then I remembered as the years went on and we had guys going to prison and coming out of prison, all of a sudden people were wearing their pants below. That was prison culture. You had guys coming out of the pen, going back into the community, wearing that kind of style because that's what they wore in prison. Then you have rappers, people that were in prison who went into the rap game. They begin to wear their pants below their ass like they got a bowel movement. And then it becomes the what? The hip hop style. That was never originally hip hop style. And I go way back with hip hop. That was not the original style of hip hop to have your pants below your, you know what? But somehow we adapted that culture, that behavior that permeates today. And we got young people walking around, don't even know that in the prison system, you're offering up something special below your behind. So I'm saying to you folks that BET and the way they operate, it's destructive. This is destructive to us as a people. I'm sorry. You know, I may sound like I'm being on a high moral ground here, but this is destructive to us as a people. Let's see. We got sagging is not hip hop. Yeah. Sagging your pants has nothing to do with hip hop. Anybody that tells you that don't know what they're talking about. I'm an old head. I was breakdancing. I was doing graffiti art. I was in a breakdancing crew in my community, strutting, pop locking. Back in my day, only thing we used to do, matter of fact, we used to wear the sweatsuits. And even our sweatsuits weren't baggy down to the floor. So we would wear the sweatsuits. We would have the shoestrings, right? And we would wear clothes that we could do our breakdancing and our strutting in. And when you did that kind of dancing, you didn't wear your pants below your butt. Now, you might have wore baggy pants. I know a lot of people that used to pop lock would have these baggy type pants, but they never had their pants below their you know what. Shut your mouth. Sweatsuits and parachute pants, which I did have a pair of parachute pants. We got Bell's Buddy Fly says the way they sag so low, that's for a reason. Right. It's offering up something special down below. If you're into that. Let me see. I don't know if I can make out this sister's name, but Yashi, I'm terrible with names, sister. I'm sorry, but let me read what you're saying here. And thank you if you subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that too. She says, about over 10 years since I've watched that mess. I would not even know what the video looks like anymore. No one over 35 and up should even be concerned with that mess, to be honest. I have to be honest with you, sister. You're right about what you're saying, but the only reason why I'm doing this video and why I think we still should be concerned, because it's cultural conditioning that's being passed on to the next offspring. Our kids are watching this. Whether we believe it or not, we as parents believe that our kids should listen and do what we say. But a lot of our children are listening to their peers. They're listening to the music. They're watching these type of shows, and they're being influenced not by us, by pop culture, sister, pop culture.
Tell the
And as long as we sit back and say this is acceptable, then we are actually contributing to it by letting it be acceptable, by me not putting out this video and saying that this is not our culture, hoping that someone, a young person, will watch this video and learn something. I could be making a difference. You're making a difference. I have a daughter, so therefore I'm going to teach my daughter so that she makes a difference. You have a child, you make a difference. It's what we do as parents to combat this type of, out of this kind of behavior. Once again, I'm not saying that people can't have a good time and be entertainers and all of that. But what I'm saying is I got to ask all of you, what is going on in our culture, or what seems to be going on when we have our women that are volunteering themselves to promote themselves in a sexual manner without there being men to have to push them to do so? What is going on within our culture when every time you look at Netflix, a movie, turn on anything, they always have to introduce this alternative lifestyle to black men? Black men and black people in general, we have to be the goddamn laboratory experiment for all the world to see and laugh at too. That's what I'm talking about, my dear sisters. That's what I'm talking about. The buffoonery and the chicoonery. Entertainers should not be our leaders. They should not be our spokespersons, but they seem to always somehow be a spokesperson. And we got people who follow them. Millie Fuller Jr. said that the only time a spokesperson is dangerous is when you observe how the crowd responds to them. A spokesperson has no power unless the audience is moved by that spokesperson, meaning if the audience goes out and implement what that spokesperson is saying. So if Malcolm X is uplifting us and we go out and say, I'm going to be a better person, I'm going to do A, B, and C because of the influence. A spokesperson within our community is more dangerous when you see what the audience does. This is why these celebrities are dangerous, because unfortunately, when they speak, they got the ears of millions of people and they got the ears of our children and some of our young people in their 20s who are reinforcing this. And the younger kids are watching them. And then we even got older adults who behave in the same manner and think that they're 20 years old again. Anytime I can see grown women who look like their grandmothers twerking it up on social media, something is dearly wrong. And BET is just another form and reflection, the embarrassment of what BET did, or how they've been betraying their show over the years. It's shameful in my opinion. Keith Love says exactly. Pam's Jammin' says Billy Porter is just as bad. He should know better. My man Muhammad, what's going on? He says, Maurice Muhammad says, we become lovers of each other. They become extinct. Exactly, Maurice Muhammad. Let me see who else I have in here. We got the great No Moreno value principle. No morals, values, or principles. Very good. Very good. Okay, DOD says peace natural. Thank you for coming on in, DOD. Good to see you. Told y'all I'm going to be cranking it out over here. Okay, we got Erica in the house. She says, I don't know if I'm saying it. To do a little research on what's going on in the LGBT community in regards to Lil Nas X. Okay, sister, let me ask you something, Erica. Is the LGBTQ community rejecting Nas X? Are they sort of like, how can I say this? Because I don't want to speak for them and assume that I know what's going on, because I don't like that. But are they rejecting Nas X? Do they not like how he's portraying himself? Is that what you're saying, Erica, that within the LGBT community, are they saying, hey, this guy, we're not recognizing him, right? We're not recognizing him. Is that what's going on? Because I told someone today that I was on a panel within that community that, there's a lot of criticism of black men in terms of, are we hating on the LGBT community? Are we attacking those that are transgender and things of that nature. But my question is, what about the racism in the bigotry within the LGBTQ community from white gay people? Because it is white gay people, it is white gay males in particular who control and operate and run the LGBT, that movement. They run it. They have power. Matter of fact, they have economic power, and they are very racist towards those that are black in that community. Even remember Michael Sam, the football player that broke into the NFL with the Rams. Remember, he came out a couple of years back and he said that most of the hatred that he ever experienced didn't really come from his own people, that most of it came from white gay people who did not accept him within that community. See, that's something and that's why when you're gay, you can't separate yourself from the black community and just say, well, it's about my gayness. No, because they're still looking at you as a black person first. When the police takes his bully club and billy clubs you in the head, he's not saying, okay, let me not billy club you because you're a black gay person. They're going to billy club you the same. They don't care what your sexuality is. They see you as a black person. And they do the same thing within, just like how heterosexual black males and black women are being treated within this society, within that gay community. White society doesn't like you either. That's why when you go back in history, they didn't want black gay people involved in the pride parade. So they had to create their own pride for black gay pride celebration. Or when they had that fight there was a fight in a bar because white gay men didn't want the black transgenders in the bar. So all these things, what I'm saying to you in a nutshell is that we can't get into this tribalism of your sexuality and all of that, because they're not going to look at you for your sexuality. They're looking at you for your black. And this is how you're going to be treated in this system. Now, that does not mean that you should have a defeatist attitude, we as black people, and say that because these things exist, that I can't go to school, I can't be a lawyer, a doctor, I can't be a scientist, I can't be an entrepreneur, I can't be successful. No. You can be successful. You just got a few obstacles that you got to jump over. Golden Melanin says, nowadays they want to sag and then break the law and try to run from the police. We got my man Rico's Bizarre Food saying, right. Peace to you, Rico. Let me see what's going on. Maurice Muhammad says, the Most High shut down the world so that you can listen, and you're not listening. The world is in chaos. It is out of control. It will never be normal again. The world is in chaos because we're in a Babylon, Brother Muhammad. And as long as we don't serve the Most High and we don't do what we're supposed to do as black men and black women, we're going to go down in the turvy-toxy of this Babylon. Once you buy into Babylon, such as buying into BET Music Awards and buying into the images that they're projecting to you on the television screen, then you go down the drain of chaos with this Babylon world. There's an old saying, you can be in this world, but don't be of this world. My motto is, you're in this world, you got to still feed yourself, you got to still pay your bills, you got to still function, but don't be of this world. Don't let this world's influences influence you to accept things that are dysfunctional. That's what I would say, my dear brother. Now, Erica says that I'm 100% there. And let me see. Josie the Great says every 3,000 years, the earth restarts and resets. Yeah, you're right. The universe, I would say, goes into a reset. The universe. Now we got Panda's Hair, who's in the house. Peace to you, sister, for coming over. And once again, what are your thoughts about BET? What do you think? What are the solutions? Because I've been spending a lot of time talking about what the problems are, and it's easy to talk about what the problems are. But I want to know, what do you believe are the solutions? I know Maurice Muhammad said that we're in chaos. We're in a chaotic world, and nothing is going to change. It's going to remain just the way it is. My question is, can there be solutions for us as a people within our community to make some adjustments within this chaotic world? What are the solutions? I want solutions. Okay, Earl Owen says, you still black. Yeah, no matter what your sexuality is, whatever you want to call it, you're still black at the end of the day. Even James Baldwin, the great writer, he got treated poorly. And he was a part of that LGBT community, and he got treated poorly. He wrote books about it. He wrote stories about it. Okay, Natural, good to see you over here, sister. Maurice Muhammad says, it's time for separation. If black people separate, brother Maurice Muhammad, what do we separate to? Because according to you, brother, I'm using your logic. According to you, my brother, the world is in chaos. The world that we live in is in chaos, and it's never going to change. So even if we separate, even though I said be in this world, but don't be of this world. We're in this world, don't be of it. Even if we separate, we're still living in Babylon. Even if you go to Africa and you run to Africa and you live in Africa, the white man is all over Africa. You got the Chinese man all over Africa. We're not escaping the system. We're still in the system. We have to learn how to manipulate the system and bend it to our will. That means black folks need to be on a code, because even if we separate ourselves, which we can do, we still have to operate within this world, even in separation. I'll tell you this. Do you pay taxes? As long as you pay taxes, you're paying into the Babylon system. I'm paying taxes. You're paying taxes. Our tax money goes to keep this system flowing, free flowing the way it goes. So in some ways, even if we do separate ourselves, and I'm not saying that you don't have the right to separate yourself, but you still don't escape the system, even in separation. We got Robert Benjamin, who gave me a $10 super chat saying, good show. I want to just say right here to you right now, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
And thank you for your good words and everything like that. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Information Man Speaks podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the first channel, the Information Man Show. I really appreciate that. We got my man Old Head in the house. And Old Head Dude says, he's saying peace and love to folks in the chat room. Oh, I got my sister right here. Learn how to navigate through this chaotic system. Let me see. We got BT in the house. Beautiful sister BT. The reason why I'm saying that is because, look, we're in the 21st century. Our ancestors, let's take, for example, Tulsa, Oklahoma. After black people were bombed from the sky with planes, after the white woman lied about a black man raping or doing some harm to her on that elevator, after they were jealous of a black town that was thriving better than what white folks were thriving, they destroyed the town. They massacred the town. They destroyed homes by the thousands, by the hundreds. What did black people do within that system that they still, so even though black people had their own community, their own barbershops, their own grocery stores, their own everything, their own doctors, and they were separated due to what? Segregation calls that. Black people made a way. They made a way and figured out how to work within the system, or to how to bend the system. They did so by making an economic boom in their community called Black Wall Street. White people did what? Because they still were in this system, even though they were separated. White people came along and destroyed it. And then what did black people do in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that they don't emphasize enough? They turned around and built it all over again, even though they destroyed it again by putting a freeway through that community and doing more destruction. It did not stop black people in 1920s from rebuilding. What do we have to cry about as Negroes in the 21st century when we've got more resources? We got computers, we got cell phones that can reach across the stars. We got social media like this where I can talk to black folks like you, brother Maurice Muhammad, and many others, and network with you across the world. We can connect with black folks all across the world with these mediums. We can get the word out with these mediums quicker than our forefathers could. So if they were able to create something, even though they were being picked on in that system, then black people today, we have no excuses. Therefore, these are the things we need to be focusing on, not the BET Music Award. The BET Music Award is a distraction. but I bring it up in this video because it's the distraction that is being damaged. It's damaging to our community. It's damaging to our youth, to our females, to our males, to our family structure. You see what I'm saying? Let me see what other people are saying. Let me see this. Rob Allbang says truth. How many hours have I been on? Because I only do 1 hour. I went on at 7 o'clock. It's already 8 o'clock, so I'll be ending pretty soon. But I got to show you all this video from George Macomb. Okay, we got Kate. We got Bear in the house. Bear says this. They're putting out agendas for black men and black women for us not to reproduce. Exactly. The world is populated by male and female. That's the natural order of things. Although people of alternative lifestyles can do their thing, they have every right. But the fact of the matter is, the natural order of things in the world is that you create a boy and a girl from a man and a woman being together. And even when people decide they don't need a man, a woman doesn't need a man, or a man says he doesn't need a woman to have a baby, and they go to a clinic to get sperm, where did that sperm come from? It still came from a man. It still came from the balance that God has created on this planet, which is the connection between man and woman, which can create life. A man and a woman together can create life. No one else other than that union can create life. They cannot create life. They can go out and purchase it, but you can't create it. That means that the energy of the male and female is divine within the universe, within the balance. And I know there's people who ain't going to like what I have to say, that have different lifestyles. This is the truth.
You are listening to Information Man.
Please subscribe to the channel, folks.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel. Tell the truth.
Natural says, I'm not getting it. Don't trust it, Rob. Let me see. Ditto. Someone says ditto to what I said. We've got my man from Bazaar. Hey, everybody, check out Bazaar Foods, Rico Bazaar Foods. He's got one of those food type channels. The brother's trying to build his channel up over there. Give the brother some support and subscribe if you could. You know, we gotta support each other as people in this country, as black people. That's the bottom line. We got Maurice Muhammad who says, I totally agree with you. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Can you see this system falling right now? Maurice Muhammad, we're on the same page, brother. I believe the system will eventually fall because we're seeing all the workings. Look at this. Check this out. The situation in Florida with the building falling down, and they still don't even know, well, how did the building fall down? Why did this happen? This is strange, right? I'm telling you right now, brothers and sisters, that everything that's happening is because America as a country is out of balance. Our pop culture is out of balance. BET Music Award is out of balance. Our music is out of balance. Our energy is out of balance. Our treatment to one another is out of balance. This bull crap about a gender war, black men against black women, is out of balance. That's why nothing that's out of balance, nothing that is out of balance can create anything that's worth living for. Nothing that's out of balance creates life and creates order. Things that are out of balance creates chaos. And out of that chaos, you get the nonsense gender war and battle. You get black women who think that they got to use their sexuality as a form to say, I'm an empowered woman. Hear me roar. And then we have young black males who don't know whether they're a male, they're this, they're that. They're trying to figure it out. They're mixed up. They're confused. And then we got young males who get on YouTube and listen to talking mouths who tell them, now listen here, if you super chat me and go to my Patreon, I can teach you how to be a man, young man. I can teach you all the pebbles about being a man. All you got to do is subscribe to my channel. Okay. Make sure you subscribe to my Patreon. Well, if you want me to show you how to get women and be high value, you're going to have to contact me privately, and I can have a private conversation with you, and I'll charge you by the hour, all this type of nonsense. When we, as black men in the community, we be the ones that should be rearing and promoting manhood and promoting the idea of mentorship to learn, to teach our children, our young males, how to be men. You learn how to be a man in action in the community by other men who teach you real manhood. You do not learn how to be a man by listening to someone talk about it, who's at the same time as they're giving you advice, they're trying to charge you up the yin yang for the advice. And then on top of that, they're telling you, sign up for my Patreon page. Then they're giving you goofy little words like red pill and purple pill and blue pill and all this goofy stuff that comes out of the Matrix movie. And as much as people, very funny, as much as people talk that kind of talk, and then you have men who teach these type of lessons, and then they'll talk bad about women. Wait a minute. Okay. So you use the Matrix to get your ideology, but you know what? Guess what? It was a black woman. It was a black woman who originally wrote the script of the Matrix, and she got her script ripped off. So guys that are using those terms, you got those terms from a black woman. See how it all goes in circle? Because as black men, we got to be in balance and harmony with our women. That's the funny thing about it. And then we also take a lot of our talking points from white society, reinforcing white supremacy talking points, and we do it to each other. So it's not only just BET, but we also do a lot of things that are harmful to each other on social media, in our communities and things of that nature. And that's why we as people can't get nowhere. And that's why we watch BET and entertainment, because we want to get away from the very things that remind us of our effery. We got Belly Buddy Fly says, let me see. Hey, Melon. Let me see what J Lo Rich is saying this. Real spoken words information, man. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, speak it, brother. Thank you. Thank you all.
Tell the truth.
Thank you all. Tanya, thank you for coming in. Rob Banks, who else? Over 50 and Fabulous. Over 50 and Fabulous. And, you know, as men and women, we got to be comfortable with our sexuality. We got to be comfortable with who we are, even if we don't agree with other people's lifestyles. We got to be comfortable within ourselves. But I'm telling you, that music award show projects out an image of throughout the whole world. And then people will believe that we are this way. I said this earlier today, you know, in countries like Argentina, for example, in South America, there have been situations where black women have gone to vacations in these other places in the world. And the men over there will walk up to black women, particularly in Argentina, and they will solicit you for sex because they think that you are a prostitute, and they get the image from watching what? Our television, our music, our garbage that's projected throughout the whole world. And then there's no wonder when black women go out into the community, they are treated poorly, because when you have other black women who portray themselves poorly, it reflects on our women who may not even be like that. And then same thing with our men. When we are out of control, then that image is being projected all over the world. And then we also are reinforcing it when we continue to engage in this type of buffoonery. You see what I'm saying? Buffoonery.
Tell the truth.
Okay, I just got to be honest here. If Lil Nas X was doing a tribute to Michael, Michael never did this in his videos or his performances. What was that all about? What is it truly all about? And I know I've said a mouthful tonight on this podcast, but I'm going to tell you what it's all about. It's about we as people have to get back to doing this for each other. You see that what I have on the screen there? We got to be back. We got to get back to being patient with each other and opening up our minds and just listening to what each other have to say. And then we need to get on one accord, no matter what your sexuality is. We need to get on one accord and realize that America owes Black people a debt. America has a debt to pay. That's what we need to start promoting a hell of a lot more than the other BS. Let me go back into the chat room as I get ready to prepare my video with my dear brother, George Macon. Sex magic. I agree, it was disgusting. Yes, it was very disgusting. Earl Owen says, yes, when you travel to Asia or business trips, I was asked some crazy questions. Right. Hey, check this out. There's a brother called The Black Experience on YouTube. He's in Japan. He travels around the world. He did a video where he was in Japan one night and he was skateboarding. And I guess he's not there. He was not supposed to skateboard on the streets or something like that, but they stopped him. And then he said, okay, they asked him to stop skateboarding. He stopped skateboarding. He started walking. Then they stopped him and they checked his bag, everything. And of course, they didn't beat him up or anything like that, but they stopped him. And I said to myself, if he was a Japanese kid, what they had did that to him, I think they did that to him primarily because he's Black, right? But they stopped him, checked his bag as if he had a bomb in his bag. It was crazy. And he did a whole show about it on Black Experience is what it's called. He travels around the world. I think he's from Jamaica, something like that. Interesting video. Rob Allbank says, but they say stop Asian hate. Right. Okay, we got DOD says promote Black love. Yeah, but we need to promote Black love. And even when you have nonsense like what they put on BET, when they put that out and they project those images, that does not mean that Black love is over. That does not mean that represents the Black community. What that is that's the low-hanging fruit that's put in the forefront to be made as if it represents us. No, it's not. We got to stop taking the minimum and making it the maximum and take the maximum and push the maximum of what we are doing that represents who we really are. Maurice Muhammad says the world is confused and now the balance, you don't know whether you're a man, woman, a boy or girl. Everything is changing in the world that we live in. Nicole Blunt says, I agree. I was disgusted too. And let me go back up to the top. And so let me get ready for the video that I want to show you all today or this evening. As I am now getting to a conclusion, I'm at 8:17. I should have stopped my goal is to only do these for an hour because I'm cranking out content every single day. Oh, we got my man, Mr. Pirate Brain. Thank you, brother. He's in the house. And we got Sister Melanin is in the house. Sister Golden Melanin is in the house. Thank you for being here again. Rob Allbanks. And let me read what J-Lo Rich is saying here. Attracting children, they try to teach 6-year-old babies about sex in school and tell them if they feel like they are the opposite sex. This is my thing about this whole thing. I think when you are a grown adult person and you choose to be with whoever you want to be with, whatever your sexuality is, when you are an adult person, especially if you're over the age of 25 years old, because your brain doesn't fully develop until over 25 years of age. But if you are an adult, then you can make adult decisions. Where I have a problem is that I don't think we should be pushing these sexual things on kids that are 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 years old because their brains are not fully developed. They don't really know who they are yet. They don't even have a fully developed brain. They're not even a teenager yet, and they're still confused. And when you become a teenager, being a teenager is some of the most confusing times in your life. So that's why I have personal problems with pushing certain lifestyles that is directed towards our children. I have a problem with that. If you are a grown adult that can think for yourself and you've maturated a little bit and matured, then that's your damn business. But when it comes to our kids, that's a problem. I don't want my child being exposed to that. It's my job as a parent to protect my child, but also educate my child when the time is right.
Tell the truth.
Now I got to show you this video as I get ready to end the podcast. Black man says, please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, go ahead and do that. And then we got the Phenomenal One says, first time watching, great content. Thank you, Phenomenal One. Phenomenal One, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. And also, I want you to go down my page and check out the Information Man Show. That's my bigger channel. You don't know what you're missing over there. I had a video this weekend talking about reverse migration as it relates to the Rust Belt, whether black people should get the hell out of Detroit, Cleveland, New York, and these other areas where economically we're not doing very well. We're not doing well. I know the South is the Jim Crow South, and things have changed in the South, and I know that there were problems in the South for us, but economically, black folks are not doing well in California. We're not doing well in these Rust Belt states economically. The quality of life is not as great unless you got a lot of money and you're living good like that. But for a lot of us, it ain't working like that. So check that video out. Check out a video on this channel that you haven't seen. Subscribe to the channel. Matter of fact, let me go and do something before I present George Makum's video to you. Let me go back inside here and do this, because I do this every time I do a program. I want y'all to share this video. Share this video in all of your social media. Share it, share it, share it in your social media. If you could do that, I would appreciate that. I thank you all. Now, another thing that's important is liking the video, because both those things, sharing the video and liking the video, pushes the video through the algorithms. It makes my channel discoverable for more people to find me, so that we can build this family up on both channels. And it also exposes me to more people who not aware of me. And that's just the way it works, because, you know, YouTube is a trip. The algorithms are a trip, and we got to push this thing through. Then if you can, subscribe to the channel, as I said before. Right. I want to thank you for those of you who have that are with me, that are hanging out with me here. They're being part of this experience tonight. I'm going to be going live, if not every night, every other night, Monday through Friday on this channel. And then I'll be doing my thing on Sundays on the first channel on the weekend. So I'm doing my best to keep things going strong over here. But let me do this too. Let me put this up right here. This is important. If you want to catch me on some of the social medias, you can catch me right here as well. The Information Man Show is on Facebook as well, because we're live on Facebook right now on my Information Man Speaks Podcast Facebook page on Facebook. I have an Information Man Show as well on Facebook as well. You got Information Man Show on Instagram and on Twitter. So check that out there. Don't be shy. Check it out like your life depends on it, because I guarantee you, you will love it. What I'm doing over there. Most of the folks in the chat room can tell you that I definitely try to keep it 100% real. I'm very respectful to the people who support my channel. And I thank you. Now, another thing I want to do to add on the icing to the cake is let me promote it now. Go over to that Information Man Show and hear the truth.
Tell the truth.
Go ahead and do that. That won't hurt you as well. And there it is, the Information Man Show. And I want you to continue to, I want to thank you for watching. I want you to like and comment in the comment section of this video and subscribe once more. And let me get back to what I'm doing over here again now. So I want to thank everybody again. All of you have been fantastic supporting the channel tonight. This podcast has gone a little bit longer than I wanted it to go, but it's okay, because I got a good crowd over here tonight. 60 people, I believe, watching right now. That's not bad for a channel that I haven't done a lot of live on. So, and I'm getting a lot of support, and this is what it's about. I mean, I really thank you all. I mean, I really do. Some people go to, I hate channels that you go to where people super chat you and people trying to say hi to the host, and the host never acknowledges you. They never say hi. They never acknowledge the super chat. I don't care how big my channels get. I'm going to still acknowledge people, even if I get your names wrong sometimes. I'm sorry. But Tiffany Jackson, thank you for coming through. So now let's get ready for the presentation that I've been waiting for to show you. And this will probably be the last thing that puts a crescendo on this program tonight. This is my man, George Makum, Let me promote something else. Let me promote Urban Nerds. This is a brother who has a organization called Urban Nerds Worldwide. I'll be doing a promotional video about this. It's a nonprofit organization in Philadelphia, PA. This brother, George Makem, he's Black Power personified, complete Black Power personified. You'll see on the video. And the brother is very well known within the Black conscious community in New York and Philadelphia. And he's working with youth, just like Q Butter and his institution, his Zion Institute, which I'm going to be doing a video on him as well. But he works with youth. He's doing mentorship. He's working with kids with science and education. He's doing the damn thing. You can find Urban Nerds Worldwide's website. If you put that in your search engine, a page will come up, and he's got it's a nonprofit status. So you can donate $5, $6, $3, $2, $1, and you'll get a tax write-off at the end of the year for supporting George Makem's Urban Nerds Worldwide organization. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin to clap and bring the video in right now. Yes, yes, yes. My man, George Makem.
Speak briefly on this Nas X situation, man. You know, a lot of people was up in arms about that performance last night, and we see that he took, he had the Egyptian gear on. They was invoking a lot of African ancestry and things that we saw, right? And people's outraged about the kiss, about the all the homosexual gyrations and things that he was doing on TV. But I really want to talk about the hypocrisy of the heterosexual community, man. It's funny how in our heterosexual community, we allow the Cardi B's, we allow all the so-called sexual things, that's just sexual deviance, that's okay amongst heterosexual culture. So now when we have the influx of the LGBTQ, or whatever you want to call it, in the homosexual community doing the same things that heterosexual people have done for a long time, that a lot of us have been blowing the whistle on. Because what I call out as bad behavior, period. I don't want my son seeing a man and woman kiss on TV and doing a whole bunch of naked stuff on TV that an immature mind shouldn't see. So now, because we've allowed this for so long, you got the heterosexual community pushing their agenda, and they're pushing it. I'm against it all. See, y'all like the Cardi B's. Y'all like the City Girls. Y'all like when Lil Baby and Kurt Franklin is doing a song opening up the BET Awards. See, let's really delve into this thing and really address it the way it needs to be addressed. You got a problem with Nas X BET Awards performance, right? And rightfully so, right? I have a problem with Lil Baby and Kurt Franklin's performance, because in one sentence you could be a gangster rapper and make music about killing your own people. Make music about selling dope. Make music about being a real nigga. But then in the next, right then, you can make a music about giving yourself to God. Which one is it? You can play both sides of the fence and still win? God and the devil don't live in the same house, man. We know what the Bible says about homosexuality, but we use the Bible for what we want to use it for. So you got a problem with Nas X
that's right,
man
that's
on
right.
TV, but you don't got a problem. You don't got a problem with real niggas making songs about killing their own people. You don't got a problem with women over sexualizing themselves. You don't got a problem with none of that, right? That's cool. See, you can't have it both ways, because as long as you allow Meg Thee Stallion to be, what was it, the Women of the Year Awards, then you usher in the allowance of the Nas X's. I mean, we got Nas X giving the devil a lap dance for your kids to see. But that's because you promoted heterosexuals giving lap dances to the world, and it was okay, it was funny. We promoted it to our children. So because you allowed these things, you allowed it to fester, you allowed all the other doors to open up. You okay with this, but you're not okay with that. You're not okay with this, but you okay with that. We got to draw a line in the sand. What's okay and what's not okay? That's accessible to our children. We hypocrites. The hypocritical society, man. I'm not okay with none of that stuff. How can I say all praise due to the Most High in one breath, then in the next breath, I'm advocating the violence and death and destruction of my own people? BET is supposed to be black entertainment, right? BET is Jewish owned. A lot of that stuff they won't market to their own people, but they'll market to you. And we allow it. We allow it. Look at the first performance to open up the BET performance. I don't have a problem with Lil Baby as a young man, but in one breath, you a gangster. You a real nigga. The next breath, you giving all praise to the Most High? What are we doing? Don't nobody got a problem with that, though. You just focus on Little Nas X. All of it is a cesspool. All of it is psychological destruction amongst our people, man. And we willing to address one, but not the other. But
all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was my man George Makem. I'm sure he would enjoy seeing that I'm using it in that way. This is what I'm going to do. I want folks, I'm going to put a link to his channel in the chat room. I want folks to subscribe to my brother's channel. He's got two channels. He's got the Urban Nerds Worldwide channel. Definitely check that out. You can just put that in the search engine and you'll find it. But I want you all to subscribe to the brother's channel because the brother needs more support, because he's not only just talking about things, but he actually gets out there in the environment and he is working with our youth within his community. He's doing something, and doing something is better than doing nothing. And he's a brother that gets out there and he even interviews some young brothers at the gym about a lot of these different issues. And they have some very interesting things to say on his channel. So check him out. I just put his link in there several times. If you are new to the channel, once more, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and go over to my first channel, the Information Man Show, and check that out as well. That's my first channel. You'll find it on the page of this video. Let me put this on the screen a little bit here so you can see what I'm talking about. The Information Man Show, as you can see right there on the screen. That is my first channel. This is my second channel. I do a different format over here. The format over here is going live every other night, if not every night. My videos are supposed to be an hour long, but I went a little over with this one. My first channel is where I do hard-hitting content, and I also bring people on that I interview sometimes. And I get into hard-hitting issues and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. You can also find me on Clubhouse at Information Man Show. You can find me on all the podcasting platforms that I have different content on, to Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio Podcast. You can also hear me on Haps Television as well. I go live over there sometimes as well on Haps TV. You can check me out over there too as well. And I put content out. And this is what it's really all about, right? So that's what I'm trying to do over here. Brother George Makem made a good point. We got let me see if I can make this out. We got Tom Kipps. I don't know if I can say that correct or not, but thank you for coming in. George, I got brother George. Wait a minute. George, let me give you a ranch, but George, I need you to come upstairs with me for a minute, brother. I got to talk to you. I'll give you a ranch on this channel. Don't worry. George, damn it. I was hoping that you saw this. I was hoping that you caught this. I was hoping. George, I need you to come upstairs with me for a moment because I had to play. Look, brother. Don't be mad at me because I took a little slice of your video. But what I did tonight is I had to play your video based on what you were talking about. And I told people to support the Urban Nerds Worldwide. And I told people to go over to your channel, that you are the man. I had to do it, brother, because you were talking too much truth. And what you were saying went right in line with what I was talking about tonight. So I'm putting a link. I'm supposed to end this. I'm supposed to only make these podcasts 50 minutes to an hour, and I'm going over, but I'm doing it for only one reason, because you came in the house and I want to hear from you and hear your thoughts for a short time that I'm going to remain on. And George, there go the link right there, brother. Come on in, come upstairs. Let's come upstairs. I want you to say a few words to the people. Maybe even say a few words about the Urban Nerds Worldwide if you like, brother, but I need you to come on upstairs and talk to a brother for a moment. As I get my mouse is slowing. I hate when this happens, when your mouse slows down and you're trying to move things around, and I'm having these little technical problems. Let me put this back on the screen. Let me go back into here. All right, George, I put the link in the chat room. Come on upstairs. Come on upstairs, my brother. George, I put the link. Oh, wait a minute, gotta mute that. All right, brother. Let me change something in my configuration here real quick. Give me 1 minute. If I can find these configurations. Let me see. Boom. All right. No. I don't want to do that. Well, maybe I don't want to do that. Anyway, there we go, George. George, let me unmute you, brother. How you doing, by the way?
I'm good, man.
So, I'm letting the folks know about your organization, the channel, the second channel as well. And I had to clip some of that because people need to hear from your mouth. They need to see who you are, what you're about, and actually everything you said was on smoke. So, what's up, brother?
Yeah, I just think that we got a lot of hypocrisy in our community. I've been speaking out against just bad behavior, period. We try to promote, in our communities, it seems like everything is anti-relationship and anti-marriage. So we try to promote marriage. We try to promote, being in your children's life and doing the right thing. It's kind of like everybody is cool with WAP, and they cool with being a real nigga, and they cool with all this kind of stuff. It's like all this other stuff is allowable, Right. So in America, man, we live in America where you have many different groups, and everybody wants to be able to express themselves in their way. I don't agree with what I saw last night, but the thing is, when you got heterosexuals behaving badly and misbehaving, promoting all kinds of sexual dysfunction all over the place, you open up the doors for the homosexual agenda. So it's just like it's like we cool with this, but we not cool with that. We want to be cool with this, but we don't like this. So I just feel like it's a lot of hypocrisy in our communities, man. And like we got to draw a line in the sand. Like, at what point do we stand for relationships? Like, we stand against real nigga culture. We stand against sisters objectifying themselves, brothers, playing the real nigga card and all that kind of stuff. Because as long as the heterosexual male and female can express themselves in the way that they want to, the homosexual is saying, hey, I want to be able to express myself in the way I want to. Where's the line drawn in the sand, just period, on bad behavior, period. Right. What's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
Right. The people are asking for the link to their website. I'm about to drop it into the that's why I was turning my head a little bit, brother. I was listening to you, but let me drop this link in the chat room so folks can get over there and support the what you're doing.
Yeah, I'll explain it. I'll explain it to them too.
Well, brother George, go ahead and explain that to them right now while we have you on, and we have the good folks in there. Whenever you're ready, brother.
Yeah. Well, Urban Nerves is something that I created because a lot of times, I would look online and I would see people talking about stuff, and I would be dissatisfied with some of the things that I was seeing online and even in the streets. So instead of me criticizing people, I just went and created my own program and tried to do the things that I didn't think that people was doing. I'm making attempts to do it myself. There's no need for me to be talking bad about nobody or voicing my displeasure. It's just I'm just gonna go do it. So what we want to do is we want to promote Black intelligence. We want to promote Black intelligence back into the hood. We want to make it. We want to make being smart cool again. So what we did was last year this was last year's shirts here.
Okay.
We had the one that you got. This year we took Hakeem and gave him a full body.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna get some of those.
Yeah.
I'm get. Oh, wait a minute, George, that's tight. Oh, I gotta get one. Yeah, I'll be on the website to get one. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting me one of those. Cause I got the other shirt, but I'm getting that one. Yes.
So we gave him the skinny jeans, the Balenciaga sneaks. Put him in his b-boy stance.
Right.
And we want to bring black intelligence. I'm running a series called Death to the Real Nigga. We want to kill that real nigga consciousness in the minds of the people. And we want to turn real niggas back into revolutionaries, because it's revolutionary to be smart. It's revolutionary as a young black man to want to be a leader. That's revolutionary in the day's time. So what we do is, we were attempting to take the kids on college tours this summer, but you can't because they got everything shut down due to COVID restrictions. But we're working out a robotics club with Drexel University. We just got the okay to go into the youth prisons. So we got a couple of things that we got going on. We're going to take a bus excursion down to DC to the African American Smithsonian Museum in DC. And the whole thing is, just getting kids acclimated back to being smart. I'm in a city right now where it's 265 homicides. We got 1,200 people shot just from January to June here in Philadelphia. From Friday to Sunday, there was 32 people shot.
Wow.
We got over 105 children under the age of 18 shot already in the city. So right now I'm in the process of organizing a march from the Art Museum, the Rocky statue, to City Hall. And we're going to take our children because the police department here in the city of Philadelphia hasn't protected our babies. The rec centers are being shot up. I mean, like it's like it's the 90s again,
right
here in Philadelphia.
Man.
So
what's up, 45 degrees? What's up, everybody? We got M.Y. Carter in the house, Rob Baines, Tiffany Jackson, a lot of good folks. George, man, I really admire what you're doing. I really admired the video, what you were saying, brother. Keep doing the work. I'm going to be going live tomorrow as well, because I want to address I'm going to go deeper in it tomorrow, but I want to address Joe Biden's so-called strike force. Where he's sending people to New York and they're coming to all the major cities. And with the way they've been making black men out to be demonstrative,
I want to show
you already know, George, that they're going to go after us. Urban nerds, not shooting.
Urban nerds, not urban shooters.
Not urban shooters. I love it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put our children in the urban nerds, not urban shooter shirts. We got signs, we got everything, because we're going to see right now, while a lot of the black nonprofits waiting for grants and everything, last year in the city, a lot of those white organizations came down to scream Black Lives Matter. All the money was allocated to them. Now they vanished. They're gone. They're not there. Wow. So I gotta take drastic measures now. So I created these urban nerds, not urban shooter shirts. And when I was talking to the young guys in the gym yesterday, these was young guys from the streets.
Yeah, I saw that video too. That's a fantastic video.
To them, it's funny how you want to be a real nigga on the streets, but when you go to prison, you become a nerd. You hit the law library, you writing letters to judges, you promising your mom you're gonna change your life. Why not just do that on the street while you got your freedom?
Yeah, exactly.
So our whole process, man. We hopefully, we want to get a building. We want to get a building in the future where we can teach computers. Children learning on computers with coding. It's just a whole bunch of different things that we want urban nerds to morph into. So it starts out as an idea, and it begins to grow as we go along. But us as black men in the community, we got to do it. So when I first started create a YouTube channel, I never really did it for it to become what it became. I just wanted to put my ideas, but it morphed into different things. So now it's time to come off of the computer and just go and do some real work, because these black boys and girls need it, especially in a city like Philadelphia, man. Like it's horrible, bro. You can't I'm serious. Like you can't even let your kids go play at the playground, info man. Right now,
nah,
it's dangerous.
Nah, it's too dangerous. I don't have my daughter. I don't have her running around. I have her in constructive activities where things are more controlled. You just can't do, like when I grew up and you grew up, man, we were able to go outside and just do our thing, but we don't live in that kind of world, and our kids are being influenced by everything, man. But so George, brother, we got to do it again. Thank you for coming up. I'm going to end the program, but I'm glad, but this is the thing. See, God is good, brother, because you came into the chat room right at the right time. So it was divine. It was divine to have you come in. That's why I got excited when I saw you in there. This is exactly this was on time, in time. So I thank you for coming upstairs with me. I'll be checking you out on your channel, of course, and giving donation money to the organization. I'm gonna be dropping some donations on some of the wares that you got there.
Yeah, we got real quick. I could tell people, you know, when you guys go into the website, every shirt you purchase, it goes directly to the nonprofit. So it's already right. You can donate. There's a 501c3, but whenever you purchase a shirt, that's also a donation.
Right.
You know, that's how we raise money. That's
for those of you out there who love the merch that the brother has, when you purchase that merch, you're basically supporting what the brother's doing. You're supporting the kids, you're supporting the program, you're giving it stability. So go ahead and like I told them, you know, it's a nonprofit, which means you can get a tax write-off, and you're also giving money that's actually benefiting a great cause. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, baby. Brother George Makem is doing it.
And remember, 30 seconds. Remember.
Oh,
the reason why I made the Urban Nerds, not Urban Shooter shirts. The reason why I made these shirts, I want to put this out there to the people. I want y'all to understand something. You have to change. You don't need more policing. You have to change the consciousness and the mindset of the people. When we walk up to certain hoods, we got this on. Urban Nerds, not Urban Shooters. The first thing the brothers in the hood say is, "What's that?" See, because you can't be a gangster and a nerd at the same time. They don't go together. They don't go together. So we got to change the mindset of our people. We don't need more policing. We need to change their way of thinking. Right. And that's what I'm attempting to do. So what I do is I match the real nigga energy with this energy. I match the real nigga energy with Urban Nerds, not Urban Shooters energy. And that's what we got to do. So we got to support the stuff that we complain about, man. So thank you for having me on, brother. I'm in here cooking. I got to get back in that kitchen.
Okay. Yeah, I got to get off and get me some food, and I got a big day tomorrow. But once again, George, let me give you a clap, brother, for coming over, because you just put it down, brother. You just put it down.
Thanks, bro.
All right, brother. You take care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the man himself, George Makem. In the Urban Nerds worldwide. Just fantastic. That's what it's about. See, these are the kind of brothers that need support on YouTube. These are the kind of brothers that need your support. That's the kind of brother that should have 1,000 and 3,000 and 4,000 people watching him when he goes live on any of his content. These are the kind of people that are doing it. Right? You didn't hear George say to you, well, if y'all want advice, I need y'all to subscribe to my Patreon and make an appointment to talk to me. No, he simply offered you something. He said, what? I got an organization. We're working with youth. If you purchase any merch, you're getting a tax write-off for that. And you're getting a tax write-off when you donate to the organization. And when you buy merch, the merch is also helping the organization. And you're also getting something. You're getting a wonderful fly shirt, hoodie, and you're supporting an organization that's run by Black men for the community. It ain't like BET, where they're putting negative images of Black people on television, what the twerking and the nonsense. And guess what? It ain't even Black owned. But you got a Black man with an organization that's Black owned. So that's what we should be supporting. That's high value. All right, everybody, that's unfortunately, as much as I don't like to go out, I'm enjoying this whole experience with y'all tonight. Had a nice crowd of people who came out. I was very shocked because I wasn't sure, you know how this thing is going to work with going live every night. And I guess this is the best thing to do, because you keep people engaged. People begin to be comfortable with knowing that, hey, info is going to be going on live tonight. So let's get ready to see what he's got coming next. So let me get off of here. Finish preparing the stream that I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Joe Biden's strike force coming to New York, and it's also coming to other cities near you, and what that means for Black people. So we're going to get into that tomorrow. I'll more than likely be going on a little bit later than I went on today because I happen to be home. So as soon as I get back from the JOB tomorrow, I'm going to fire it up and we're going to get into that discussion as well. I want to thank everybody in the chat room that's come through. We got Rob Allbanks. We got Art New Style. Art New Style and I were both on a panel today, and we were talking about these issues that I talked about today with the whole sexuality thing, and how black men are being people are pointing fingers at us as being that we are toxic masculinity. We had a very interesting discussion on the panel today on Olivia's channel. Beautiful, wonderful lady. And I want to thank you all out there. So we got Art New Style, we got Earl Owens, Black Man, DOD is in the house, Tiffany Jackson, Natural's in the house. Let me go up. We had Maurice, Maurice Muhammad in the house with us tonight. We got Pam's Jammin', and we got M.Y. Carter. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to both the Information Man Show and the this podcast. And we got J-Lo Rich in the house. Who else came in the house? We got Afro in the house. We got 45 Degree Discovery who came in the house. Peace to you, brother. Tiffany Jackson. Who else? George Makem, of course, who came in. Over 50 and Fabulous. Earl Owens. Angelo came in the house. Golden Melanin came in the house. DOD came in the house. We got Rico Bazaar Foods that was in the house. We had Sneezy Girl who was in the house. I didn't even realize you came in the house. Sorry about that. Would have said your name a long time ago. And there it is, folks. Here's another clap for all of you being a great audience tonight. I'm getting ready to get out of here. It's been great. Everybody, thank you. Thank you. We've been listening to the Information Man Speaks podcast. Here we go. Thank you, everybody. Peace. Good night.
The Information Man podcast can be heard on 9 major platforms. On the second YouTube channel as well, Information Man Speaks Podcast.
The Information Man Speaks Podcast. You got the best audience, the best support. You all are the best.
Castbox, SoundCloud, and finally Spreaker.
Information Man Speaks Podcast. The podcast. Every night, every other night, podcast to open up your mind. The podcast, baby. The podcast.
You are listening to Information Man Podcast.
The podcast, baby. That's right. Black people. Yes. Black people. The podcast. Woo, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. It's been a great night. Love you all. I'll be back with more presentation very soon. Good night, everybody.
The Information Man podcast can be heard on 9 major platforms. On the second YouTube channel as well, Information Man Speaks Podcast. Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Castbox, SoundCloud, and finally, Spreaker.